Alright, so I've soaked up the worst of the coolant out of the valley and the other little areas where it was collecting. I did manage to remove the last of the hoses and everything like that. Just gave it a quick once over and made sure I didn't damage anything or nick anything on the way out. But it all looks like it came out pretty painlessly. So the next step is going to be a thorough cleaning of all the components that I can reach. Not necessary, but something I like to do. That being said, the important step here, because I'm going to be using degreasers and things like that, is to cover all of the inlets that can get inside of the engine, and also any electrical connectors and things like that, because I'm going to be using water to rinse this thing down as well. So my intent is to very carefully go over any mating surfaces where like a gasket would go, things like that, razor blade those down, make sure they're clean, and then tape over them. And then the same thing with the electrical connectors. I'll be doing a little tape boot over each one just to try and keep any water out. And it really only has to last for a little bit. As soon as the rinse is done, I can basically take that tape. Here's a little bit of a before shot of the engine bay as well. My goal is to give you an idea of what we're working with. Hopefully this will be one of those lovely transformations where you go, wow, that's fantastic. Or it might look the same, we'll see. But this is mostly just to get it on film, so I have an idea of if it was worth the effort or not. Also, I'll be cleaning all this stuff back here. Basically anything that's tricky to reach normally. Down on the frame rails, down there where it looks like some road dirt and water have splashed up. So hopefully a big cleaning party to progress the fit and finish of the engine here. Alright, so I did the preliminary cleaning of the intake ports here, did a little cleaning down inside of them, then realized I was getting a little carried away. Mostly done taping up everything important. Like I said, the electrical connectors, any little openings and stuff, albeit this assembly just attaches essentially to itself, it goes in here and out there, or vice versa. Still want to keep any major debris or splashdown from getting in there. And also the nice thing is, by marking each of these plugs with tape, it makes them a little easier to see, because obviously there are a lot of them, and you really don't want to miss plugging one back in, because knowing this is a Jag, I have a feeling that that would throw it into all sorts of wacky mayhem that I really don't want to deal with. So now that it's basically taped up, oh, and I should note, any of these surfaces that you're taping, there's a good chance you're going to need to degrease them. So a little bit of parts cleaner. Just wiping it down will cut any oil and grease and let the tape actually adhere to it. So now I'm going to try and work on freeing up some of this grit and grime and all that other stuff, and go from there. I am probably also going to cover this little coolant pipe here and the one back there as well, just to be safe. But I think, actually, you know what, this one back here doesn't really need it because it's open anyway. So I'm going to get that done, get the cleaning commencing, and this is probably going to take a while. All right, I'd say that's a big improvement. Still some little detail work to do, but that got the worst of the grime out of the valley here. So I'll try and get into some of these nooks and crannies and stuff like that. I did try and avoid getting on like the plastics and things like that. I'll use a different cleaner for those. And a lot of it is just like kind of sand and grit and stuff like that will easily come out, so it doesn't need the whole heavy duty wash down. So yeah, I'm gonna keep chipping away at this, but I would say that is a good start to making this engine look fresh as anything. All right, so here we are on day 3 now, I think, of working on the Jag. I've managed to do a pretty decent job of cleaning. Honestly, cleaning a bunch of stuff that a lot of people are never gonna see, but it's nice to do it while you're in there. Let's give you a quick look at what I've done. And unfortunately, it's not the sunniest day, but I've tried to get down into all the little crevices and nooks and crannies and basically anything I could get, you know, a cloth to. And like you saw, I used the degreaser in the engine valley there. Got most of the muck out of there from the coolant leak. Managed to brighten up the intake plenum and stuff like that. The supercharger, I'll be doing some cleaning on the bench as well, along with maybe a couple other little things. We'll see. I'm currently in talks with a couple folks over at Powerhouse UK to see if maybe it's time to do a pulley upgrade. But that being said, the engine bay came up lovely. I think you know, it was worth the effort. It's one of those things where every time you open your hood, you'll just be glad you did it, and you know, it'll kind of make you smile rather than just being a regular grubby engine. And if this was helpful to you, please like, subscribe. We got more videos on the way. And honestly, if this worked for you, I'd love to see either a video or a comment just letting us know that it helped, because that's what we do it for. So see you next time, and thanks again for your support.